Okay.
Okay, we are recording.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for jumping on our Thursday trainings. We just wanted to kind of keep this pretty casual today and just talk about what we are learning in our pursuit groups and then open it up for questions, what people want to learn about. And so let's start with our senior coach pursuit group. I know Cheryl's been on that. Cheryl, is there anything that you're working on from the group or that you remember that you learned from the group?
Okay, I'm getting it mixed up with all of the other trainings I'm trying
Yeah.
to participate in, but I know that, we're trying to get to senior coach, so I've got two more people. And one of the things that I have been trying to do, which I think was from Tuesday 20, but was to use the National Optimal Health Day, and do the scholarship. So I've been contacting people about that, and I have one person who I think might be interested in signing up. So
Cool.
anyway, I'm in contact with her. But anyway, so I've just been contacting people about that, and I've been trying to follow up with like, oh yeah, you gave the advice about the healthy happy hour and people who weren't able to attend,
Mm-hmm.
to follow up with them. And I went to a Relief Society activity last night, and I had somebody, say, oh, I'm so sad I wasn't able to go to your thing. And so anyway, I ended up, saying to her, like, oh, we're probably going to do another one in a few months, so I'll definitely tell you about it. And if you want, I can, email you some of the recipes that we talked about, and I could even give you a call and talk to you about some of the nutrition stuff we went over. And she's like, yeah, that would be great. So
Cool.
try to follow up with her. And then just in conversation later that night, she was bringing up how, she really slacked off this summer and she needs to get back to like being healthy again. And so I thought that was good, just kind of putting that in my mind of like, okay, so it'll be good to talk to her more and follow up with that. And so I'm just trying to follow up with people about a lot of things, I feel like,
Love that.
but yeah, I'm hoping that will be beneficial. So
Okay, perfect. You said a few things that were great. I want to go over. One thing as a coach that we come to realize is clients usually won't come if we just sit and wait for them, right? Like it takes some action steps. And so I love these action steps that you have. So in the group, we talked about making your list, like just getting names out there on a list of who you want to share it with, and then being proactive of getting the word out about what you're doing. And so a few ways you could do that is like Cheryl did a healthy happy hour, like a health night at her house, and she invited people, and so people that weren't able to come that maybe liked her invite or showed interest but weren't able to come, she could always follow up with them. Or if you did personally invite someone and they didn't come, just following up with them and saying, hey, we missed you at our health night the other night, we had a lot of fun. Even if there weren't a lot of people, they don't need to know that. You could just say, we had so much fun and learned a lot, and it was fun to get together with people, and I could send out the recipes for you. Would you like that? And so that's a great way just to follow up, because a lot of people wish they could go or that they were busy, but just reaching out and just letting them know that you noticed, that they weren't able to come and you missed them. And then that's great that you went to the Relief Society night. And one thing I recommend is whenever you go somewhere, try to sit by someone that you don't know, because then you can get to know a new person. So just kind of scan the room and like just sit by someone that you don't really know so you can start up a conversation. So this lady that Cheryl sat by mentioned her health night, that she wished she could go. And you did great, Cheryl, saying that, oh yeah, we're going to have another one. I'll invite you to the next one, but I'll send you the recipes that we talked about last night. And so that's a great thing to do. And then she even expressed interest of knowing more about the program. And so it would be great to call her up, Cheryl, and just say, hey, I was just thinking about you and how, you mentioned wanting to get back, into health. And I wondered if you'd help me with a practice call. Could I just practice doing a health evaluation with you? Because I really need to practice on people. And then she thinks, oh, great, I'm helping her out. And then she's learning about the program more. So that's a great thing to do also. And then with her email, Cheryl, you'll just want to add that to your connection list in your email, and let her know that you'll keep her updated when you send out healthy recipes, that she'll be getting those healthy recipes. And then even if she doesn't start the program right now, every couple of weeks that she gets an email from you, and we could do a training on how to send those because they're already written for you. Then she's going to be thinking of you. Oh, I should do Cheryl's program. I should talk to Cheryl about that, And so it's just kind of like a gentle reminder that you're there to help her. So that's great. So you got some, and then let's go over the scholarship idea. That's a good idea, especially if you're working toward a goal, like Cheryl is working towards senior coach. You don't want to throw out scholarships every month because then everyone's always going to expect it and it doesn't feel like a special thing to get a scholarship. Kind of like Apple products. They don't have sales, they don't have discounts, they don't have coupons. It's just a good product and that's why people buy it. Same with our program. We have a great product and a great program and people don't need a discount to get started. But sometimes if you've talked to them and maybe a financial issue or they're just kind of on the fence, sometimes offering a scholarship will just kind of be enough push to feel like, okay, I want to do it. And so if you have a goal that you're working toward or National Optimal Health Day, that's a great time, to say, because of National Optimal Health Day, I was given a scholarship to pass on to someone else that's ready to get started on their program. I thought of you first because we've talked and you expressed interest of getting healthy. And so I wanted to offer it to you first because that kind of makes them feel like, oh, she thought of me and offering it to me first. And so they want to take advantage of that. Whereas if you just put it on Facebook, I have a scholarship, let me know if you want it, then it doesn't feel so special. And you can still do that and post it on Facebook. But if you call someone or contact someone like individually and said, I wanted to offer it to you first before I gave it away, because I know that you really want to get healthy, then they feel like it's more of a special thing. So those are always good. And it doesn't have to be very much, especially like for Cheryl as a new coach, a $25 scholarship. That way you're still going to make $25 off of that order, but you'll get a new client that the next month you'll make more, every month after that. So as a new coach, like a $25 scholarship is plenty to offer. If you're just one away and you really need one, a $50 scholarship, and just knowing that you're really not going to make anything off of the first month of them getting started, but every month after that you will, that's still worth it. But it's always nice if you can still make a little bit their first month of getting started. That makes it worth it. And remember that any scholarship you give is a tax write-off. So just if you always use the same credit card that you order your food with and everything like that, or keep a receipt, keep a log of every cash on account that you give for a scholarship, then you have that all together. When you do your taxes, you can write that all off as a tax write-off. So I do it all on a credit card, and then I just everything to Take Shape for Life or Optavia, it will show up as that later. Then that's a tax write-off. Anything from the company. So good ideas, Cheryl. Love them. You're doing great. Got some good action steps going. All right. Oh, one other thing from that Senior Coach Pursuit group that I wanted to cover is Curtly shared how she gets the word out. A lot of times we do the getting the word out call where you'll call someone and you'll say, hey, do you have a second? They say, yes. Well, I just wanted to share something I'm really excited about. So Cheryl will say, I've just had a baby and I've started on my health journey and I'm already down. Was it 20 pounds, Cheryl?
About 20.
Almost 20. And I'm down almost 20 pounds already since having my baby on a nursing mother's plan. And I'm just so excited. I want to get the word out about what I'm doing. I know a lot of other people are struggling. Could I send you an email about what I'm doing? And if you know anyone that's struggling, would you pass it along? So that's kind of like a getting the word out call to get someone's email and send them information. But Curtly actually does it over the phone. So she'll just say, hey, I wondered if you have a couple minutes. I'm wondering if you could help me get the word out about my program. And she just kind of explains. She doesn't go into the food or anything, but just letting them know that you love helping people get healthy, that you work on lifestyle changes. Everyone has a free health coach, and you learn a lot about nutrition and how to get your metabolism running better and get rid of inflammation and medications, get off medications and things, and that you'd love to help people get healthy. And you can ask them right there, do you know anyone that's struggling with their health that I could send information to? Or you can even set up a time to do a health evaluation with them so they know more about the program. So even like just people that you talk to, kind of briefly explaining it. And there's a video in there that Curtly did. Did you see that, Cheryl?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll post it in this group, but it's kind of a getting the word out call versus getting the word out email. And I'll post it in our chat thread that everyone can watch kind of how she did that. And she even went through, she had a client on there, or a coach, on the call that she did this call with, a Getting the Word Out call a year ago or 2 years ago. I think a year ago, and then now he's a coach. So I'll post that in our group. It was pretty neat. All right, Jody, which group are you? Are you doing a group, Jody?
Yeah, I'm doing the ED Pursuit.
Awesome. And what are you making?
I'm doing salsa. Sorry.
Oh, awesome.
I need to
Picking up our tomatoes.
Yeah. Alina's making spaghetti sauce. Jody's making salsa. Love it. We are multitaskers.
Tomato time, right?
Yep, I have some on my counter I've got to do something with too.
Yeah.
So, Jody, is there anything? Oh, and you got, what do you have, Cheryl?
The barbecue bites.
Barbecue bites. Awesome. Everyone making healthy choices. All right, so Jody, tell us something that you've learned from the ED Pursuit group. What was your homework for that?
Sure. This week I was at the dentist with my kids. They were doing dental work when the pursuit was going, so I was just listening in. So I only caught like little snippets, but the few little snippets I caught was like just talking about looking forward and making goals and how to follow through, how to do follow through, you know. Mm-hmm. And so one of the homework things for the ED Pursuit was just making a 5-year projection plan type thing. And it was really good because like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And then I said like, I don't want any debt, and anyways. So like my things were all like negative, and so the one thing I really liked was Amber's like, always say things that are positive, like I want to be financially free. I want to be able to go on vacations with my kids without having to worry. I want to have a new car. I want to, you know what I mean? Like just like saying like the positive things.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. That is, and even when you're setting your health goals, that's one thing we did last night at our health night at my house is we had them set some goals for the next year to be working on. And they had to be positive things, not like, I don't want to be fat. It's, I want to be at a healthy weight. I want to have energy. I want to play with my kids to make memories. You know, I want to get off of, or I want to be medication free. So those positive things, because even if your brain like just hears, like if you say, I don't want to be fat, all it hears is want to be fat, not and not the opposite. Like I want to be healthy. Like it hears healthy. So saying positive things for your brain to like connect with, because it just hears the main word, and so it just needs to hear like what you want. And so I love that. So in relation to coaching and financial aspects, talking about where you want to be. So that's great. So you wrote that out then, your goals for the next 5 years?
Yeah, I finally did. In the positive.
Did you hear anything that they talked about follow-up? Any tips on follow-up?
They're just saying make sure that you, with each goal, you need to not be frustrated if you don't meet your goal, but just to make sure you're doing the action steps to get to the goal. Mm-hmm. And so the week before we had done like lines on paper is what Amber calls it. And it's just your lines. So to be executive director, you need to have 20 clients to get your 5 points, or I think it's 15 clients and 1 senior coach.
Yep.
And so, so they just had us all write our lines and then fill in the lines with our current clients and then say how many lines we have left and what is our projection for, the next 2 months. And I think that's good, like to actually put it on paper and to see like what actually is happening.
Yes, for sure. And even if you shoot for a big goal and you don't, how they say like shoot for the moon, and even if you just hit the stars, that's better than staying on the ground. And so, if you shoot for a big goal and maybe your goal is to hit senior coach or to hit ED this month, and you're 5 clients short this month, then that's still better than you would have done if you didn't ever set the goal, And so maybe if it happens next month, like it doesn't have to happen exactly when you say, but as long as you've progressed closer to that goal, then that's success. It's moving you forward. And I love the lines on paper, just knowing what you need to do to create that. And so you mentioned follow-up. So let's just talk about follow-up in aspects of your business. because that's one thing that I struggle with too. I'm really good at like making connections, even sending that first email or getting on the call. But a lot of times, like I just get busy, and if they don't reach back out to me, then I forget about them. And so the follow-up is really important. Like just that's the organization part is staying organized with who you talk to, and then being professional and following up. Even, you don't have to be pushy at all, but that's very professional. Hey, I just wanted to follow up from our call last week. Do you have any questions? Are you ready to get started? Would it be a good fit for you? And if they say not yet, then, let them know that you'll stay connected with them, send them the weekly emails, like actually add them into your connection emails and make sure you're sending those every 2 weeks. And I think we should do a training on how to do that. Would that be helpful? The connection emails. Do you guys send those? I know Cheryl, it's probably helpful
I've
for you,
sent
right?
a couple, but yeah.
Do you know where to find those newsletters that you can send?
Alina sent me a link.
Okay, Alina's got you guys covered. Okay. All right, so putting it on the calendar, connection emails twice a week or twice a month, because a lot of times it's easy to forget to send them, even though it's really a copy, paste, and send. But that's just a good way to stay connected to all the people that you talk to. So let's just remember to follow up. Anyone that we talk to or shows interest, like that's the key, is the follow up, because people aren't going to come and seek you out very often. But they're ready when you seek them out, and that's just a step of being professional, is following up. So great.
Liz?
All right. So
I was just going to say one thing that I found that's helped me. I'm just starting with that is I kind of live by my calendar on my phone. And so I just set the same day, like on Wednesdays or something, and I set every other week for it to be scheduled to send a connections email to my connections list.
awesome.
I don't remember what week it is, but I look at the calendar and I'm like, oh, it's the week again. Send that.
Good.
That helps me.
You're awesome, Cheryl. And your baby's so cute. I don't think I've ever seen him. He's so cute. I love that. So you're scheduling it in your calendar to remind you. And that's a good thing. Like in reminders, like if you do a call with someone in your calendar, whether on your phone or on your wall, like put a reminder, follow up with so-and-so, because it's so easy to get busy and just forget. So as soon as you get off the phone, like just put it in your calendar as a reminder 2 days away or the next day, follow up with Alicia, and then to be able to do that. So good. All right, Alina, are you in the FIBIC group?
I am. I'm putting it in my calendar to send connection email because I'm like, oh my gosh, I think it's been a few weeks. I think it's been a while since I've done that.
Yep. Same here. I was thinking the same thing. Okay, I got to do that.
Yeah. So yeah. So that was a good reminder. I know. I'm so inspired by all of you ladies, and
That's fun.
Cheryl's super organized. So I've been really like learning from her, even just because she's really good at staying organized and staying on top of things. So, and organization doesn't come naturally to me. So, that's why it's awesome that we're a group and we can help each other.
Yep. I
So
agree.
for the FIBIC Pursuit group, we've been talking a lot about what are things that we want to learn to help us, with our businesses, and what are some things we need to unlearn. And so, for example, let me look and see this is bad when you can't even remember what.
And while you're looking that up, I'm just going to explain what FIBIC means. FIBIC means that, so Alina has already hit executive director, so she's helping about 20 clients. And so FIBIC is, once you get there, 5 senior coaches. So once you're ED and have 5 senior coaches and you're certified, and does your group volume have to be like at 15,000? I believe.
I don't know.
Yeah, I believe your group volume is 15,000.
Frontline has to be 6,000, but I don't know about.
So basically your frontline is 6,000. So you have about 20 clients, 18 to 20 clients, and you have 5 senior coaches. And generally, if that happens, you're probably already certified, because you'd be crazy not to be, because you're missing out on a lot of money with that extra 3% bonus. And your frontline or your group volume is probably already about 15,000 if you're, by the time you have 5 senior coaches and 6,000 yourself. But anyways, to be FIBIC, you get an extra $1,000 every 3 months as a FIBIC bonus. And so that's kind of a fun incentive. Also, your your business is growing. And so, when you have other coaches, it's fun. Just like this, like we all learn from each other and you have that team. So it's a really fun goal to work toward. All right. So Alina, did you find that what you were looking for? Okay.
Yeah. So there were lots of things that people were thinking about. What I said that I wanted to learn and make a habit, that's what we were talking about, is one, to talk about health with everyone. So to always be a health coach. So not kind of like, I guess, turning it off. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm being social, like, look for opportunities to bring that up. And I do that, but I want to make more of a habit of that. So that's one thing. Also, I want to listen more and be more present in the moment with people. That's something I want to learn and to have that become a habit for me. I want to get better at that. And I also want to be more organized. And so, and sticking to the schedule. And also making sure to schedule in me time, like schedule in some downtime so that I'm not feeling like, oh, I don't want to. So I'm not using that as an excuse, I guess, for not following up, for example,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't want to follow up today. Like I haven't had time for me in a while, which, I don't know, that may sound kind of selfish, but at the same time, I do have those thoughts.
Yeah.
I have those thoughts. And so I want to know, well, I know that on Friday I have 2 hours scheduled, or whatever it is, like I have time to just do something just for me, read a fun book or scrapbook or do something fun, or relaxing or take a nap. I don't know, but whatever it is. And then 3 things that I want to unlearn. So I want to unlearn getting distracted from my schedule and having excuses. I want to unlearn negative self-talk and fear. And the 3rd thing I said was excuses. So yeah. So those are the things that I kind of put down to work on. There were lots of other things people were saying, like they wanted to unlearn comparison. A lot of people were saying they compared themselves to other people, and that was something they wanted to unlearn so they could, be more positive about what they're doing.
Yeah. And did they talk about ways to unlearn that? I mean, I imagine you flip it over, and if you don't want to compare it, then you always flip it over and try to compliment others and find good in yourself. Or what were some of the tips on how to unlearn something?
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with above the line thinking, So and that comparison is relative. So you've all heard that we compare our worst to somebody else's best.
Yeah.
But also, if we're comparing, there was one coach on our pursuit call that she was saying that she compares. She's always been the best, at things. She always wants to be the best at things, and she was the best on her soccer team in high school, and in sports and things, she's often been the best player on the team. And she felt really happy with that because that's what she wanted to do. And then she was saying she feels frustration sometimes in health coaching because she wants to be the best at health coaching. She wants her business to be, growing super fast, and she wants everything to happen, that she wants to have happen. So and she wants to feel like she's, one of the best.
Yeah.
And so that's something that's been holding her back a little bit. But then Jared said to her, if you when you were in college playing, high school or college, she played soccer on both levels. When you were playing soccer, did you would you compare yourself to your 8-year-old self playing soccer, and or would you have expected your 8-year-old self to be at the same standard? When you were 8, were you just I'm not as good as a college athlete, and mad at yourself? So he was kind of just saying, and also he was saying, so are you when you were playing in college, were you frustrated that you weren't like at a professional level or those types of things? And she said no, because I was happy with where I was, and obviously, like, when you're 8 years old, you don't have the same expectations. So I think he was talking a little bit more about, I don't know if I'm making any sense, but,
No, you are. Yep.
but like expectations, and as far as like what you're comparing yourself to.
Mhm.
So if you compare yourself to yourself, like in this business, if you compare yourself to like your first week of coaching, but you've been coaching a year, think of all the things, like instead of saying, oh, well, somebody else who's already, presidential director or global director, like, if you're comparing yourself to, well, I don't know. It was just like,
That makes sense. It does. Like, so basically, the only person you should compare yourself with is yourself.
Yeah.
And you look at yourself, and if you are better than you were yesterday, that's progress. That's, so you just want to make sure that you're progressing personally. Don't worry about comparing yourself to anyone else, because you're not in the same circumstances. So it might be a coach that had 10 years of network marketing experience and come in and excel really fast, versus someone that didn't spend 10 years making friends and networking with other people. You can't compare yourself to someone else where they are. So you can only compare yourself to where you are. So think about the same thing with health. Like, you can't compare yourself to someone else. They may have been working on getting healthy for years and already working on those habits. But you can ask yourself, am I better than I was yesterday? And if not, then you want to make sure that today is better than yesterday. Drink your water better than you did yesterday. Just compare yourself to yourself. And so trying to progress, it's not perfection, it's progression. And so trying to progress personally, that's the success right there. Is that kind of what you're meaning? Is like, just compare yourself to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. That is good job.
Awesome. That's really important, because that can happen in lots of areas of life. With people on program, they stick to it so well, I can't stay on plan. Like, you compare yourself, but just compare yourself to today with yourself. Are you getting better? Because that's really the only thing that matters. So, but I love all those things that you talked about, Alina, of what you want, because those would be great training topics, like how to bring up a conversation about health coaching with whoever you're talking about. What were some of the other ones that you have that you want?
I wanted to get more organized. Was one of them.
That would be a good training one.
And like sticking to my schedule.
Sticking to your schedule. Okay. Well, let's make sure we schedule those things in, because if that's something that you want, then that's something that we should be talking about, and working on, because I'm sure it's what other people want too, because it's very common topic. So those would be great trainings. And then my challenge for you guys with, 2 days, counting today, 3 days left in the month. Don't give up on your goals. If you, like Cheryl, still wants 2 clients, so let's be working on those. But also, let's be thinking of the next month. So just like Alina said, even if you don't reach your goal, or maybe it was Jody, I can't remember. Like, if you have a big goal and you don't reach it, it doesn't mean that it's a failure. Like, you're still working. Yeah, it was Jody. You're still working toward that goal. So if you have a goal this month, let's not give up. There's 3 days left. Let's do as much as we can these last 3 days, but start thinking of what you want to create in October. So even if you fell short a little bit this month, let's get a head start in October, so that we can for sure reach that goal in October, whatever it is. So, but we still have 3 good days of the month. Let's do the follow-up and be working on that, and then start thinking about what your goal is in October, and let your coach know, like, what's going to happen in October, and getting off to a good start the first of the month is so much easier than trying to cram it in the last few days, for sure. But I just want to tell you guys that you're all amazing, and I love working with you. It just makes me excited to wake up every day and to think of who we can help that day, and also, what it's doing for ourselves, that personal progression. And it's so fun to learn from you guys. Did anyone have any last words or anything that we should work on before our next training? We're good? All right. So if you have a goal, make sure that your mentor coach knows, put it out there, and let us help you. But you guys are doing awesome. And I love all the ideas that we talked about this week. So let's go and have a great last 3 days of the month, and we'll start October strong. Thanks for jumping on, you guys.
Thank you, Liz.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Selena.
everybody.
Thanks, Liz.
Enjoy the tomatoes.
You too.